Aspiration Digital opened my eyes to all the marketing side and all the human side to what a computer science degree might allow me to get into. Definitely all the speakers and the people who came to talk to us on the day were really useful in talking about that, because they come straight from the industry rather than just what we have to focus on academics, which was really useful.
The talks were really insightful into the idea of digital marketing, because I didn't really know. Obviously I knew digital marketing was something that existed, but I hadn't really put like a label or name to it, sort of thing. So I was looking for something to do with marketing, but it was the digital stuff that was linked to it that was actually really interesting and did open my eyes to different, nodes of courses, sort of thing, that exist that are quite appealing to me, that I hadn't looked at before in a university course or a degree course.
When Aspiration Digital came to our school, I was in year 12, but I'm in year 13 now, and since then it's really helped clear my vision, but also broaden my horizons a lot more as well.
They talked a lot about what they did, and at the time I wasn't completely sure what I wanted to do. I was thinking more of going into physics, but now I think I'm leaning more towards the digital side of my career, purely because of how fascinating I found what they said.
The part I found most interesting was hearing people's backstories, so finding out how they've come in their lives. I found it really interesting to see how they've developed.
Before I went to Aspiration Digital, I was very conflicted between doing a psychology degree or a computer science degree. I wanted to definitely go into business, but I didn't know which way to go. And after seeing that I can do computer science and have all those skills, but then still working with people and working in, using my psychology skills that I may have learned, I thought that was really useful.
I was very set on an apprenticeship, but then it kind of more opened my eyes to the degrees more, which is quite funny because it's kind of the opposite of what most people would say. So I was very set on an apprenticeship, but with degrees I've actually been looking at more broader degrees that I wouldn't have necessarily looked at before if I hadn't gone to this talk and learned some of the things that I did learn.
So when Aspiration Digital came in, I at the time didn't really know what kind of digital careers there were, so I thought it was just coding side of things, but when Aspiration Digital came in and talked about the different varieties, it really got me into it.
We had these small groups of meetings, which was really useful. There was a couple of people who came to talk to us, and they were talking about their business side of how the computer science works within their business and all the products they make and things like that, and that was really useful seeing all the projects that they might do.
Yeah, it changed my perspective quite a lot, because before I was torn between apprenticeship and university, but leaning more towards apprenticeship. But hearing the pros and cons of each one helped clear my vision again, and now I'm set on university.
I think that the talks that I went to were really interesting, had great ideas about the way that computers are used in the industry and how businesses that focus more on tech-based things with the idea of marketing behind them as well. That was really interesting to see how they work.
I found most helpful listening to kind of a day in the life of a software development was from one of the people I think was Ahmed. Because before I never really knew what it was like to be in a workplace like that, because I knew what you had to do, but I didn't know how you went about it, so hearing about that from them was very helpful.